Counsel, are there other situations, the Chief Justice's question just made me think of this, in which any of our levels of heightened scrutiny, whether they be intermediate or strict, require courts to make the judgment, the means-ends calculation in this kind of medical context? Because I agree with you. I mean, I can see your point, like, well, you know, as a matter of logic, we should shift this to that stage, assuming that the suspect class is triggered and we say this is sex classification. But is there any other situation in which courts get into that in the tiers of scrutiny?
I mean, so I would point, Your Honor, to recent cases involving the COVID-19 pandemic, in which many cases came up before this court, in which the states were regulating, you know, undeniably in areas of public health and evolving science, and the court repeatedly made clear that yes, of course, the states have latitude through their police power to regulate, but when they do so in ways that classifies based on suspect lines or infringes constitutional rights, then heightened scrutiny remains the standard that the courts apply to ensure that the state is advancing an important governmental interest.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking of some. Can I just
Sure.
last follow-up? But even in those COVID-19 cases, you know, courts weren't, and we certainly weren't, diving deep into the medical evidence and comparing Europe and America and looking at research. I mean, this would be, I think, of a different order. Do you agree?
I don't agree, Justice Barrett, in the sense that I do think it is precisely the role of the courts to assess the tailoring and look at the evidence, whether it's presented through expert testimony or not. It is not the role of the court necessarily to say definitively these risks outweigh these benefits or vice versa, but do what the district court did here, which is to look at the assertions of harm, make comparisons to how Tennessee treated all other medical care, and then see whether or not Tennessee had met its burden under heightened scrutiny. That type of tailoring inquiry, I believe, is precisely the role of the court.